Why am I lazy? Being lazy just means you want to expend as little effort as possible, and who in their right mind would want to spend extra time or energy where it's not warranted? Of course, being lazy is also problematic. If you're feeling lazy and unmotivated, you won't take proactive action to achieve your goals, and you may struggle in both your personal and professional life. Wondering how to stop being lazy? Well, there are several strategies that can help you defeat this darker side of your mind. If you want to overcome laziness, it will take a concentrated effort on your part. But don't worry, once a few of these tactics kick in, you'll find it much easier to sustain your momentum. 20 tips on how to stop being lazy and unmotivated. 1. Learn to accept your own laziness. For the most part, this article is designed to help you fight back against laziness as if it's a dastardly villain intentionally trying to sabotage your success. However, this can be counterproductive. If you hate the idea of being lazy, chances are you'll end up resenting yourself. This leads to a cycle of negative self-talk, which is scientifically demonstrated to have a negative effect on mood, increasing stress. 1. Low mood and high stress lead to even lower productivity, which leads to low self-esteem, and the cycle continues. The way to break out of this is to learn to accept your own laziness. It's okay to feel lazy. It's natural to feel lazy. You can work to address your laziness without feeling bad or guilty about it. 2. Understand your source of laziness or lack of motivation. Next, take the time to understand the roots of your laziness and lack of motivation. This is one of the most challenging steps to take, but also one of the most important. To find out the source of your lack of motivation, you must first understand your motivation style, so you know what you can do to maximize the strengths of your motivation style. If you can figure out what's making you feel lazy and unmotivated, you can find a way to prevent or mitigate the effect. For example, do you always feel unmotivated at a certain time of day? Do feelings of laziness creep in when you don't have work that challenges you? Stress is a common source of a lack of motivation. 57% of high-stress employees feel unproductive, compared to 10% of low-stress employees. Pay attention to your environment, the time of day, the people around you, and the type of work you're doing. Chances are, there's a pattern. 3. Break your personal cycles. In many cases, laziness is a byproduct of habit, either directly or indirectly, and this is especially true if you feel lazy around the same time of day or in the same circumstances. Accordingly, you can reduce your feelings of laziness by simply breaking your habits and cycles. This is especially important if you work from home or are stuck in the same office daily. Consider working in a new environment, giving yourself different working hours, or even dressing differently. Any major change can have a positive effect on you. 4. Set more reasonable goals. Sometimes, people are lazy because the goals they've set for themselves are too intimidating. For example, let's say it's a hot day, and you've set a goal to run outside for 10 miles. That's a tall order, even for an accomplished runner. So naturally, you'll procrastinate and become lazy in doing the exercise. But what if you reduced your goal to a 2-mile run? It would be much easier to summon the motivation to go, and 2 miles is certainly better than 0 miles. Use SMART goal criteria to set appropriate goals for yourself, and don't be afraid to lower your goal's intensity if you're unmotivated. 5. Create a plan of action. Specificity and direction can help you realize your goals faster, even if there is a hurdle along the way. If you can accomplish something and feel good about it, that positive energy will continue on to your next endeavor even if it's something you dread doing. 7. Use the Pomodoro technique to quarantine your laziness. The Pomodoro technique is a well-known time management strategy to help people remain productive. The main idea is to break your work down into focused work and small breaks. The original idea was to work for 25 minutes, then break for 3 to 5 minutes, and take a longer break after 4 cycles. However, you can use whichever timing methods work best for you. Use this method to effectively quarantine your laziness. Allow yourself to be perfectly lazy during the short breaks, then be ready to resume focus when the timer ends. 8. Recognize and shut down your escape routes. Most forms of laziness are contingent upon an escape route. It's easy to be lazy if you're tempted by the endless scrolling content of your favorite social media platform, or if you only have one more episode in a season of your favorite TV show. Learn to recognize these escape routes and do what you can to shut them down. For example, can you turn off notifications on your mobile device? Can you work in a different room than the TV? Can you temporarily disable internet access? 9. Make the most of your laziness. It's perfectly fine, and even good, to be lazy sometimes. Decide to be lazy and decompress from work. Make the most of it. For example, you can take a few vacation days if you find yourself completely unmotivated to work, and during those days, you can absolve yourself of all responsibilities. Breaks and vacations are shown to have a net positive effect on productivity and well-being. For example, frequent travelers tend to have a 68.4 score on the Gallup-Heathway Wellbeing Index, a measure of health and wellness. 10. Tackle tasks immediately. This might seem simple and obvious, but it's one of the most effective ways to overcome laziness. If there's stuff that you need to do right now, such as doing the dishes, taking out the trash, or visiting the grocery store, do it now. Tackling tasks immediately will help you manage your time effectively and stay on top of things. 11. Minimize your sense of perfectionism. Perfectionism is an enemy of productivity, and it has the power to make you feel less motivated and lazier. More than that, scientific studies have shown that perfectionism is bad for your health. People with high perfectionism scores have a 51% increased risk of death. 5. Fight back by reducing your compulsion toward perfectionism. Understand and accept that all work is flawed, and so are you, and that's completely okay. 12. Set a reward for yourself. Most of us find ourselves much more motivated when there's a reward at the end of a daunting journey. The next time you find yourself feeling lazy or unmotivated in the face of a tough task, plan to give yourself a reward. For example, you can treat yourself to a snack, splurge on a new product, or take an extended break. 13. Get a partner. It's way easier to be motivated when you have someone by your side. Not only will they help you tackle the project directly, but they'll also be a source of positive energy and possibly some inspirational words. 14. Surround yourself with motivated people. Attitudes and energy tend to be contagious. If you're surrounded by lazy people who frequently complain and generally have a pessimistic outlook, it's going to be impossible not to share the same negative feelings. 15. Incorporate high-impact movement in your routine. There is growing evidence that shows exercise as a promising intervention to overcome laziness and increase motivation. Particularly cardiovascular exercises get the blood pumping in your body, which leaves you energetic and motivated to take on the day. However, going to the gym or picking up weights is not everybody's cup of tea. But don't worry, because other high-impact to moderate movements like yoga are sometimes all you need to feel like. You can take on the day and power through your to-do list. At the end of the day, it is all about including some form of activity in your routine, so it is better to do something that you already love. 16. Set awareness alarms. If you're like most people, you at least occasionally find yourself in a lazy rut, not because of a conscious decision, but because of an unconscious default. For example, you might check Twitter impulsively, scrolling past 100 tweets before even realizing the phone is in your hand. Or you might simply stare off into space. 17. Take a cold shower. In most cases, tiredness and lethargy go together. In short, if you are feeling tired, the chances of getting up and working on your most important tasks are low. Luckily, you can banish any tiredness instantly by taking a cold shower. 18. Gamify your most tedious tasks. Generally, people like games, so turning your most tedious tasks into a game can make you feel much more motivated to accomplish them. 19. Take a nap. One of the most common lazing activities is sleeping. If you are struggling to sleep better at night, you should limit your nap time during the day and avoid screen time before bed. Always aim to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night to feel refreshed and ready to work on the tasks ahead. 20. Channel your laziness into something productive. Believe it or not, being lazy can actually help you be more productive. How? By encouraging you to find low-effort solutions that still solve your problems. Remember, productivity isn't about how much effort you expend, but about how much you can get done. Laziness could encourage you to develop an algorithm or buy an app that automates a task that takes too much of your time. Ultimately, this allows you to achieve more in less time while demanding less effort. The same is true for hiring additional staff or delegating tasks to people who can handle them more efficiently.
Follow Teamy for supporting us grow. XOXO.